All right, here is a old body style F-150 we've got here. 92 to 96 is what I'm gonna say based on the mirrors and the grille that I'm looking at. So he's got a TTB suspension, the 302 V8. And I believe about 33-inch tires.
Of course, how the rims are designed, they're really good with the mud claws because it pushes the mud out.
Yep, just keep heading that way. It's gonna loop around. Oh, yeah, watch those mirrors. Yeah, she's a little wider than the Jeeps. I like it, I like it. All right, I don't think that Ford's going through.
I don't think so. Bypass this way. Curve back around to your left. Oh shit. F-150 might be stuck where the Ram was stuck last week. Oh. Gotten ourselves into a squeeze here. We're gonna have to rig up a snatch block so that we can get his back end over this way and straighten up so that he can back out of here. We are finally out of the mud and backing the 3500 out of the woods.
The bypass?
Yeah.
Jeep. Ryan is out there. I don't know if you guys can grab Ryan and have his Reggie pull him out. Roger that. I'll organize that communication. Tippy right there if you can do it without going in four-wheel drive. Yep, I'm on it.
Nah, I'm a locking.
F-150 driver is locking his front diffs.
Oh, all right. Well, that might get him out of there.
Yeah, my four-wheel drive will get me out.
He's pretty confident it'll work.
Me too.
There we go. Heck yeah. Yay for locking diffs.
Nice. All way from what direction he needs to go.
All right, we've got the F-150 coming through the mud. I believe this is the first F-150 we've had do anything out here. We've had a few Broncos. Nice, she looks good. That grimace purple. Love it. Love it.
All right, so Chris was just asking what kind of front differential is under this Ford, and it looks like a solid axle, but it's not a solid axle, and it's not independent front suspension either. It is called twin traction beam suspension. It was invented in the 80s, and it was proven to be excellent for desert racing, but I don't know how much Chris can get under here. So there's two pivot points. These are basically your control arms that control the drop of the suspension. So you can see we got a hard mount here and a pivoting joint that allows this arm to drop down, allowing the suspension to articulate downwards. And then behind that, there's another pivot point for the other TTB arm right back. My fingers are on it right now, right back there. And that is your pivot point that allows the control arm that heads to the passenger side, or axle arm, TTB arm, to articulate and drop. So, and we'll come back out from under it. And what it ends up looking like is these two arms that move like that as the vehicle's, driving fast and articulating. So that's TTB suspension.
So you said it was developed for desert racing, which is generally high speed and you're kind of hitting jumps and stuff.
Yes.
How does it react in a much slower pace obstacle environment?
It's not as durable as a solid axle, which is why people, the big mud truck Ford owners will take that front axle out, put in a solid front axle, But what's funny is that some XJ owners that like to go desert racing out west will take that front axle and put it in their XJs and take the solid front axle out, so then it performs better at high-speed off-road stuff. So, you know.
So different use cases and different setups.
Yep.
Okay. How's it working for you though?
Oh, it's been working great. I mean, even back there with them, you know, them Jeep slides or whatever you want to call them berms, man, it articulates just fine. It doesn't rub, nothing like that. So when I first got it right and got it on the road, I was so excited. Hit it with the 3/8 impact. Wheel fell off. I was test driving it.
Oh.
So all I did was jack it up, put it back on there, and make sure.
So we missing a lug there?
A whole stud gone.
Oh, whole stud is gone.
It's a 95, so everything's manual lock-in.
That's a clean cab.
Yeah, except for a little bit of mud, but it's a manual four-wheel drive, you know, basic 2 high, 4 high, 4 low, but.
Back in the day when things were simple. Look at that, so much room in the engine bay. We don't see that much anymore. You see all these Jeeps coming out here, the new ones, and they got buttons and they're waiting for the buttons to do the thing that they're supposed to do. And yeah. Rob here with one of those new JKUs says, I resemble that remark.
Put it high range? Have a little wheel speed?
If I do, it's able to watch it.
Oh, that sucks. That is like new technology flaw.
Another cool thing to point out about the front axles on these old Fords is they have manual locking hubs. So you got to put it in 4-wheel drive in the cab, but you also have to get out and turn those knobs to be able to get your 4-wheel drive working. And that saves gas mileage, but it's a little less convenient once you're stuck in the pit and you got to go fishing for the knob to turn.
Yeah, but the whole point is when you're mudding, man, you're trying to get muddy. So.
All right, coming back for another lap through. Coming in hot. All right, we are out here on one of the higher speed sections, testing to see how some of these vehicles do at speed. Both of these vehicles are running TTB suspension, so we wanted to see how that articulates and handles running through this, running across this dirt road with some speed. Nice. Yeah, he's got to get hard on the brakes after that. He's got a tight turn to make. That's the same issue that Jimmy had, was trying to get that turn. And then he's got another 90-degree turn to make. So let's see if that turn is still a problem for him. Yeah, without 4-wheel drive, they're not getting the... Without 4-wheel drive, they're not getting their front tires to dig into that corner. So then it's getting a little sloppy around the corner. Here comes Chris in his 88 Bronco with the 302 in it, 302 V8. That TTB is pretty smooth at speed, I gotta give it that. Got a nice drift going through that corner. Hustling right behind him is Chris. Yeah, man, that TTB is so much smoother across the high-speed stuff than the Jeep solid axles are.
Sure.
Why keeps spinning like all the way around? Fun. Only it's 2 wheels.
I don't got a notion for us.
Not enough.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
It's slippery out here.
Let's try that again.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh! He was spinning completely around.
Glad they've improved that technology.
Wiper flippers.
Yeah. That's pretty smooth. Right on. Thank you.
Uh-huh.